We're live. Look at all the viewers. Woo!
Are we actually starting?
In a minute. I just worry that the first time we did this, like the first minute got cut off. So I like to start the broadcast and just waste a couple minutes so that doesn't happen.
Oh my God, we're live.
Were you doing the Johnny Mac voice?
I guess I could try. I'm not good at
No,
it.
that sounded a little bit like Johnny Mac.
I can't do it.
Sesternino's getting a lot better at the Johnny Mac voice.
Yeah. How the fuck are the Nationals not in the playoff?
They're not, Jesus.
The Mets are beating them. Like, that's a joke.
Well, the Mets pitching is really good, although the Nationals should have been with Scherzer, Strasburg, Gio, Fister. How crazy is Fister's not even in the rotation anymore?
No, because he sucks. I almost took him in the draft, but
Well, I know, but he's been pretty good for 4 years, man.
I know. I don't even know who Joe Ross is, but whatever.
Tyson Ross's brother.
Seriously? Or is that a joke?
No, I'm serious. He is.
Oh.
I don't know if I knew that until yesterday. I heard it on the pod yesterday. I think I probably did know that at one point.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, tough guy over here. Jesus.
Sorry, when you done for my roommate gets here, it's loud.
Your end is probably better than mine. All right.
It's not background noise.
All right, I'm going to start in a second. Welcome to the Survivor Buddy System, the Philip Shepard to the Boston Rob of the Survivor podcast community. In this podcast, John and I will be drafting our favorite seasons ever. You can find us on Twitter at Survivor Buddies or via email at survivorbs@gmail.com. Here's my co-host, as always, John Gross-Dedeer. How are you doing today, John?
Pretty great.
That's good to hear. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for 31 to start.
I can't wait. Every day, it's just like counting down the days.
I'm just a little worried that let that.
Hold on, let me close some windows real quick.
Jesus Christ. You have Facebook open.
I'm sorry. I
wanted to punch you in the face when I heard that Facebook noise.
Where did we stop?
I just talked about
Let
how
me see what
if it's on a top 5 season, we're all going to be disappointed.
Yeah, we should draft this season, the next season. All right. Facebook closed. Twitter closed. Yeah, ready to go.
All right, respond to my if it's not a top 5 season of all time, we're all going to be disappointed.
Here, start it again so I don't even know.
I'm not starting it again.
Did you even finish it?
Yeah, my intro was perfect. I didn't stutter. I didn't.
Did I stutter?
I'm not doing it again because it was perfect. Just
what am I replying to?
You're replying to if it's not a top 5 season of all time, we're all going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I don't know any way that it couldn't be with that cast.
Yeah, but I mean, what if pregame alliances can screw things up? I know pregame alliances never really hold, but what if they were to hold? Maybe not too much craziness is going to happen. So you just never know.
Yeah, but there was a pregame alliance in All Stars, and that's going to be my first pick, and just made the season really great with the.
I think we're doing favorite seasons, John, not the most disastrous seasons.
You're not taking All Stars first?
No, they're not on my board this time. Sorry.
Wow, I'm gonna have great value pick 2 then.
Yeah, well, you got to win another draft because I seem to be losing all these. But this is one of the drafts where I get first pick, so I'm liking my chances this time.
Yeah, pretty obvious first pick, but I'll let you.
I don't know if I agree, but yes, I am going to be making the obvious pick, so I will take Survivor Heroes versus Villains with my number 1 pick. John, would you have taken them number 1?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. It just has so much going on all the time. It just never stops, really.
Yeah, the thing I love most about it is just the final 3. I mean, it's some of the best and most iconic players ever. Can you imagine a final 3 better than Russell, Parvati, and Sander? It's pretty much impossible to beat that.
I thought the best part was Rupert's broken toe. Actually, that was gonna be my number 1 thing I liked about it.
Yes, we all know how much I love Rupert.
My toe is broken. But yeah, let's see what all happened. We got James tearing his ACL, but saying he's fine.
Well, hold on. The first thing you need to be mentioning is JT's blunder, giving the idol to Russell.
Yeah, that's true.
My favorite part of that is like Parvati reading the letter to Russell that JT wrote, and this is the way she read it. It was just so fucking funny.
It's just I don't get how the entire tribe thought it was a good idea. Like
Look,
it was.
I know it's easy to criticize, and it clearly was a humongous mistake because that idol is used to get JT out later. But I mean, I can kind of. They needed to make a move. They were in a little bit of trouble, and if they were correct and there was a female alliance, that would have been the most badass move in Survivor history. And it kind of did. It's perfectly reasonable to suspect that Parvati was up to her old tricks, and it did look like the men were going one by one. So I kind of get it.
I don't get it. I really don't. It's just it's really bad to just assume things like that. Just it's terrible.
I know it's easy to say that when we're watching at home. I mean, if we were out there, we'd be making mistakes left and right.
You know, my favorite part of the season is Colby Donaldson just giving zero, just doesn't care at all. Like I hate Colby, so just seeing him just be laughable the entire season in challenges and at tribal council, like when they both had the idol, Colby was like, I don't even care, like just give it to Danielle. when Amanda and Danielle, it's just like he's just like, just vote me out, please. It's just what he sounded like, and somehow he didn't get carried to the end as a GOAT. Like, who was going to vote for Colby to win the game? In all honesty.
Let's see what else we got. I mean, seriously, one of the best things ever. Tyson voting himself out of the game. Come on.
Yeah, and then
that's the best.
Candace Cody being Candace Cody and making terrible decisions every chance she gets.
Yeah, we all know how much you hate Candace Cody. Let's see. Coach and Jerry, the greatest couple in Survivor history.
Yeah.
Stephanie and James fighting.
True. I actually kind of agree with James there, but
I don't. We know how we're on the very different sides on Stephanie. We don't need to get in on this one again. No one needs to hear this. Randy being Randy. Sugar, like, apparently having sex with JT before the game and getting voted out first. That's always fun.
I didn't hear that.
Well, I don't know. I've heard rumors that, like, Sugar hooked up with, I think it was JT. We're going to get sued for this. Yeah, I don't know. Sugar was just such a train wreck.
Yeah.
No wonder she got voted out first. One of the greatest tribals ever when Parvati played two idols.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Russell giving his idol to Parvati.
I liked when Russell, when they were in the final three, and he basically knew that Russell was going to win. He's like, I don't think you're going to get any votes, Sandra. And he's telling Parvati she's not going to get any votes. And did he get any votes? I don't think he did he? I
don't remember. I do remember Sandra throwing Russell's hat in the fire.
Yeah, that's great. Just this entire season. Oh, I think we mentioned this in a previous podcast, but the Courtney, JT, and Coach rock band at Ponderosa, that was great.
I love Parvati sniffing out Amanda's lying to her.
Did you just call her Poverty? Really, Jeff Probst?
I said Parvati. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't say poverty. Well, maybe I did. Go, whatever. Anyway, I just love that Amanda was lying to Parvati and she fucking sniffed that out. I don't know. Parvati is she's just so good. I still think she should have won this season. I really do.
I agree. She made some mistakes.
You agree. I didn't think you did agree.
But Sandra's best move of the game being a move that she couldn't pull off, mainly because Candace sucks. But still, like, I think they asked Sandra what her best strategic move was, and it was trying to get out Russell, but failing. Just, I don't know how she won.
Yeah, I just it just sucks because Parvati had like the Russell stink on her, and that's why she lost. People hated Russell so much they just didn't give Parvati their vote.
I don't know why they kept Russell remember when Russell pitted Danielle and Parvati just against each other?
Oh, I forgot about that. That was amazing.
Why didn't they turn around and vote Russell out? Like, it could have been like Parvati's move. Got Russell out. She was the one that got Russell out. She goes to the final tribal without Russell, I feel like she probably would have won, honestly.
Yeah, I just love like once towards the end when Sandra went to the heroes to tell them everything, and like they didn't believe her. They're idiots. Yeah.
All right.
And like you think of if anyone would believe her, it'd be Rupert, but he didn't. He's a moron.
All right. Well, this isn't the Heroes vs. Villains podcast, so we should probably move on.
Fair enough. Why don't you take your first pick here?
All right. I'm going to take a more recent season. It's considered one of the best of all time. I loved it. It was Cagayan.
Yeah, I knew that's what you were doing.
Yeah, I think this was one of the first seasons I watched live. And it was just every episode was great with Cass. Well, first was like the whole Jatia thing where she throws the rice in the fire. Just probably the greatest first episode ever. It was really, really good. I just loved how she threw the rice in the fire, still didn't get voted out. Spencer, one of my favorite players ever. The thing that just always comes back to me is that stupid idol, that Tyler Perry idol.
No, I told you that term is banned on this podcast. I need to edit that out. Come on.
It's just that idol is so bad.
It's the Yul Kwan idol. It's not the Tyler Perry idol. So anyone who says that should just get punched in the face.
Actually, it was Terry Dietz idol. It was originally his.
Well, whatever. It's certainly not the Tyler Perry idol, and I need to punch myself for just saying
that. Yeah, but it was really bad. Cass was awesome though. I love Cass.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a great season. The Spy Shack, even though that never really came to fruition. I love the Brain versus Beauty versus Brawn theme. I like 3 tribe formats. They usually turn out pretty well. It was just fun seeing how terrible the Brains tribe was.
Yeah, it was pretty inept. I love when Cass flips and Spencer just goes, 0 chance to win the game. I just love Spencer the entire season. It's just.
And it's like, remember, like, Welcome to the Bottom or whatever?
Yeah, it's just.
Wu taking Tony to the end, although I think he gets a little too unfairly criticized for that.
But I don't. It was
I think
probably the worst move ever.
Nah, I don't know. Morgan thinking she's God's gift to the world.
Oh, I love when Jeremiah reveals that he's a male model. It's some big thing.
Yeah.
He's like, you can Google me, Jeremiah Wood. That's pretty great.
His picture's actually my wallpaper on my computer.
When that whole idol chase was awesome, when Wu finds the idol clue, but then Spencer ends up finding the idol right in front of Cass. Like he's just talking to Cass and grabs the idol. It's pretty great.
And we haven't even mentioned Tasha yet. She's pretty awesome.
Yeah, she's good. I think she's on Survivor Second Chance. I don't think she's gonna do that great. Usually, like strong leader females.
Yeah, she's got to work cut out for it.
Like I don't know how well her game's gonna be. She kind of got lucky that there was no like alpha male on that tribe originally, so she could kind of run things. But as much as it sucks that females don't run things on Survivor, like it's just kind of the way it is. So
the thing that just made this season so great was it was so unpredictable. Things changed like on a dime consistently.
Except you knew that no one was ever going to vote Tony out. But and then he could lie about the idol and got himself another week. And
oh, that was amazing! Yeah,
yeah, his llama impression was really great. Llama thing. But it might be my favorite season. That Heroes vs. Villains definitely top 2.
Well, it was definitely on my list. There was definitely a top 5 for me, but it was not going to be my next pick. So I'm really glad that you did not take season 16 Fans versus Favorites 1, Micronesia.
Are you only going to take all-star seasons, Eli? Is that how it's going to be?
I take good seasons. I'm not going to apologize for taking good seasons in the Favorite Seasons podcast.
So let's just get right to Tribal Council. Do you think Chet or Kathy should have won?
We'll get to those people. We're not going to begin with those people, all right? The Black Widow Brigade is my favorite alliance in Survivor history.
It is probably the best alliance. How like they're all different. They all work together so well. They take out the guys,
and they always have like maniacal laughs, like witch laughs, and like they do the stirring of the pot. It's just so much fun.
It's good. It's good.
Eric Reichenbach's blunder, probably the worst move in Survivor history.
I think Wu's is probably worse because it wasn't
It's a top 4 bad move of all
Yeah.
time, easily.
Really bad.
Amanda Kimmel once again failing at Final Tribal.
Yeah, Amanda sucks.
Ozzy being mad at all times.
That like it's kind of like Ozzy and James are like linked of just like being the awesome guys their first time and just falling off a cliff by the time they're done with Survivor. Just Ozzy's pretty bad. Like he's just an arrogant asshole basically.
Yeah, he's still good TV. This is so many good things this season that maybe I should have took the number 1. Cirie getting screwed, having it being a final 2 instead of final 3. That would have been a great final 3. Penner being medevac, that sucks. He's great.
Great spot, and he was in a great spot.
He wasn't as bad of a spot as you think. God damn it. Look, I know Penner's overrated, but he's like one of the greatest characters ever. Chet being the most like frustrating player of all time. Fair Play's inexplicable quit in the first episode. What the hell happened there?
The season was so awesome, even though we didn't have Fair Play.
I know. That's amazing.
Fair Play.
Kathy melting down and quitting. Eliza getting picked on once again, like always. Her playing the fake idol. She's like, it's a fucking stick. This can't be the idol. That's great. Joel's vendetta against Mikey and his horrible treatment of Chet, dragging him around.
Yeah, I like when Joel dragged Chet around. It was kind of funny, but it was mean. But
Amy Cusack pleading for her life at Tribal, but losing out to Eric. Eric at times showed some real talent for the game. I know he made mistakes, and the next time he played, he like didn't even like care that he was there. But he's actually got some skills, I think.
I don't like Eric.
I love Eric Reichenbach. He's very likable, but he is befuddling. He's one of the biggest enigmas in Survivor history. That's for sure.
You have anything else to add, or?
Who do you think? Do you think Parvati deserved to win? Right?
Yeah, Amanda's not good. Amanda not only sucks at like final jury, she also sucks at every jury, or not final jury, final tribal. Like every tribal, she's like, she just doesn't seem genuine or authentic or smart or intelligent. It's just like, I don't think she's really that great.
Do you think if it was a final 3, do you think Cirie deserved to win?
I don't know. Like I just rewatched it a couple weeks ago. I didn't like Cirie played well, but I don't know if she made like enough connections with the people on the jury.
Yeah.
Like I think she was kind of like the strategist, but she wasn't featured too much on the season, honestly. I was expecting like Cirie, one of the best players ever. I was expecting to see more from her, I guess. So I'm not sure if she would have won or not. Probably not, actually.
Best player to never win, do you think?
I think Rob played a much better game than Cirie did.
I agree that Rob at his best was probably better than Cirie at her best, but she did it a couple times.
Yeah.
That does count for something.
Yeah, Cirie probably has it worse being a girl, too, that she can be voted out beginning of the game and stuff like that. Where Rob probably has kind of more.
And I also think that Rob's competition on Amazon, I think there weren't a lot of smart people out there.
Don't take shots at Christy.
Shots fired. All right, why don't you take your second bit?
This will come to no surprise to you. I know that you will not take this season at all, but I feel like I have to give it. I'm not going to use draft strategy. I'm just going to go ahead and take Survivor One World.
God, I knew you were going to take them. I just didn't think you were going to take them this early.
It's just hilarious. The entire season, I kind of like seasons that are funny or comedic as much as like the strategic seasons. Like this season's, it probably has the best player. I think Kim's the best player ever. It also has Tarzan, a skid mark Speedo. Colton was hilarious, even though he was really mean. It was still kind of funny. Like it was a really fun season. It was boring kind of towards the end, but up to like episode like 8 or 9, it was just hilarious every episode. I just love this season.
I definitely agree that it's severely underrated. It was a lot of fun, but It was just so predictable. She dominated. It was never in doubt, like at any point. So like that really takes away from the season. It's like there were not a lot of twists and turns. There are not a lot of big blind sides. Oh, I don't know.
Cat was awesome.
I hate cats with a passion.
When it was so obvious who she should have picked on that reward challenge,
Yeah.
Tarzan and Christina, but she just wanted to have a good time, forget about the game. But she was just hilarious. Like,
my biggest knock on this season is Colton going home. Like, I mean, obviously we all hate Colton, but he was amazing TV, and it was unlike anything we'd ever seen, really.
Yeah, when he had the whole tribe to give up the idol.
Yeah, insane. So like him going home kind of like just sucked. Like he wasn't gonna win, obviously, but I wanted to see him meet like a regular demise, not that way. I don't know. It was just like a bummer.
My favorite part was when he heard that Leaf was I don't remember who Leaf was talking bad against. I think he might have been telling Bill that he was next to go, possibly.
Yeah, that's right, I believe.
And then Colton approaches him. I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be mad. And he's like, yeah, I told him all that stuff. And then Colton just loses it on him. Tirade. Like, it's like, he said he wasn't going to be mad, but.
How great is it that Colton kept the idol for himself when he left? He didn't give it to anyone.
Yeah, supposedly he says that he was going to vote out Alicia next, even though that was his best ally. I don't know. But maybe he didn't want to give it to Alicia right in front of everyone as well. But
I think one reason I like this season a lot is that I'm in love with Chelsea.
Chelsea, oh yeah. You also love Troyzan.
Yeah, I do love Troyzan. He was a lot of fun. I think
this is my island.
I just like players who play with a lot of passion. Like I know, that's one of the reasons why I love Mike so much from season 30. Like I just love people and Stephanie. I know you hate Stephanie. I just love people who are so passionate about playing the game and take it so seriously. Let's
try to get podcast without talking about Stephanie. But so you also loved Christina, where she at Final Four, she was like,
God no.
I mean, like I guess I can get voted out right now. I don't really care. Like if I get voted out, it's not that big a deal. Fourth is pretty good. Just like really, Christina, like at least argue against someone.
I do feel bad for Christina. She got I always feel for the people who get picked on way too much. Like, why did she get picked on so much?
Because she sucked. She's like, yeah, I guess I'm on Survivor. It's a pretty fun game. She was really bad. But yeah, do you think Kim's the best player ever, or at least have maybe like the best winner ever?
I think she had the second most dominant win of all time behind Rob Mariano. But I mean, she did it her first time, so that's amazing. But I also think she played with a bunch of morons.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
so did Rob.
Once the women had the advantage over the men, it was like pretty much smooth sailing to that point. And she deserves a lot of credit for that because she did a great job holding the fort down. But I don't know. I would love to see her play again. I really would. It's hard to. It's just so.
She fits so well too. She's just awesome. Like I don't know. She's really great.
Yeah, I'd love to see her on an all-winner season because, if it's not an all-winner season, former winners become just such big targets. It seems like so. I like to see her on an even playing field in an all-winner season and see what she could do.
Yeah, the one thing I was kind of mad about is that Survivor Second Chance they gave Troyzan. I wish they would have given Leaf. I would have voted for Leaf every single day to come back.
Leaf didn't care that he played the first time, so
Leaf's the best. We've talked about him too, so let's move on.
All right. With my third round pick, I'm going to take Survivor Pearl Islands.
That's a good pick. Kind of considered the best of the original seasons.
Yeah, I mean, Fair Play was like the greatest villain ever up to that point. Rob was a villain, but like Fair Play was like the real villain. Let's see. Lil was annoying, but provided some really great material.
Lil was my favorite. Yeah,
she was kind of the best and the worst at the same time. We make fun of Rupert all the time, but he really was one of the most compelling characters in the show's history. He was amazing. Everyone loved him the first time, and with good reason. It got old, but he was really great that first time. You can't deny that.
Yeah, I love when Fair Play votes against Rupert.
Yes.
Rupert just goes insane.
Props to Fair Play for not being murdered there and somehow escaping Rupert's wrath. Like, I don't know how he came back from that.
I know.
The pirate theme was just really great. Like, I love it when the show has like a theme and like they really utilize the location and all that stuff. And they don't do that often, but they did it really well here.
Yeah, Sandra's pretty great too. She's
Oh,
fun.
for sure.
She has energy and
love it or hate it, the Outcast twist was great TV and something different and something everyone still talks about now. So it made the season
ruined
better.
The greatest player ever, Andrew Savage.
And he'll get his revenge in 31. Maybe.
Yeah, he's gonna win for sure.
Oh, definitely. Him and Terry Dietz are gonna have a bro alliance and finish 1-2.
I wonder if Terry's gonna offer Andrew Savage 2 weeks off or not. I feel like that he shouldn't use it right at the beginning of the game because you don't want to like give an offer that great too early. But
I wonder what percentage of our listeners understood that joke. Although if you're listening to this ridiculous Survivor podcast, you're probably a diehard, so you probably did understand that.
Yeah, that'd be great if you did that again. I just crack up the entire episode. He offered, if you come over to my side, I'll give you the next 5 tribal councils off.
How about the guys getting naked in the first challenge? Who could forget that?
Yeah, whatever.
Austin quitting.
That was kind of a quit, but it's considered a quit in Survivor history. So
Probst getting so mad, like throwing his torch down or whatever.
My favorite Austin moments on the boat at the beginning of the game. He just has all that alcohol just stashed in his jacket. Great.
Oh, you know what's another great thing about this season? The first episode was incredible.
It was.
Like, I wish they would do something like that again. It really was great. It provided so many great moments, like Rupert stealing the shoes, Sandra, speaking Spanish and really doing a great job for her tribe. You had what else? Austin like selling all his clothes and being naked the entire season, which is probably why he quit.
Like everyone was in their underwear all season.
Yeah, it was good stuff. Oh, and another reason I love this season is because I'm in love with Dara. So, yeah. I think we talked about that before. I don't need to go in on it.
What about me? Krista. I can't do them.
Krista's voice makes the season as well. Oh, how about Sandra throwing the fish in the woods or whatever and blaming her friend Christy? Brutal.
Supposedly it was accidental, but she's still blamed her.
Yeah, well played by Sandra. Brutal to do that to her friend, but it was a great game. Oh my God! We haven't even talked about Fair Play's grandma lie.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. It was it's iconic.
Yeah, it's overrated, but it's great, and it's something that we hadn't seen, like just an epic lie at that point.
Yeah.
So, Fair Play was the best for sure, and like we talked about this before too. He was an incredibly underrated player. Not only was he a great villain, but he was a good player.
Yeah, he was. I don't know if he would have won. Like he's kind of similar to Sessionino, but
yeah, he very much so.
I think Sessionino gave himself like a way to win, but Fair Play. Do you think Lil versus Fair Play, who wins? Like surely Fair Play wins.
Oh yeah, I think he steamrolls Lil. No one likes Lil except what that Skinny Ryan. That's it. Like, unless Skinny Ryan's on the jury, she's getting no votes.
If Lil would have taken the Fair Play, would she be top 5, top 3 winner of all time?
I can't. Oh man, if Lil played Second Chances and wore her Boy Scout uniform, that'd be the greatest thing ever.
You know who Lil reminds me of? It's kind of a crossover, but this season of Big Brother, Vanessa just always has a breakdown and just cries all the time, and I feel like she's kind of a lot like Vanessa, a little not quite as smart, but it's just like the constant just drama.
Well, like Vanessa, Lil would have been better off lying about her profession once she came on the show.
Yeah.
All right, your turn here.
Okay. It's kind of a tough choice. I'm going to take another recent season that I love. Blood vs. Water 2. I like this one better than the first one, believe it or not.
Wow. All right, you're going to have to explain this choice because I'm shocked by this.
Quite possibly the worst pre-merge of all time. It was pretty bad. I don't remember a lot of what happened during the pre-merge. Like
basically, I'm a badass. That's what happened pre-merge.
Yeah, like Jeremy was kind of cool. The season mainly because I love Natalie so much and I'm in love with Baylor. Shout out to Baylor. Hopefully we can have her on sometime and she could sing us a song or something. But
I think we'd fight over her affection because I had a crush on her too.
I still can't stop watching her music videos.
Oh
And
my God, you gotta get over it, man.
I know I love Baylor, but I actually don't think she's good or anything. I just love Baylor. Um, this season would have this season probably would have been the worst season ever if Natalie just didn't go into beast mode. Like it would have been John and Missy and someone else going to the final three, just lollygagging to the final three, and John probably would have won this season. Wine connoisseur John, but Natalie was just so great after Jeremy got out. Like first, you didn't really see much of Natalie except for when she yelled at John Rocker. Then she just really went into just like beast mode, where she just took everyone out. She and Baylor kind of tag teamed it, but it was mainly Natalie. But she just kind of took control of the game, and it was maybe the first time we've seen a woman play like that before, just with that much like attitude, and it was great. I'm not like calling her a man, like it was so great. Like Natalie's awesome, but
I love Natalie, and season 29 was the first season that I saw, so it's kind of a special place in my heart. But I mean, she was. Was there anything else good about that season other than her? Like pretty much at all?
I think this is the season of like we gotta give a shout out to RHAP, but like all the drops, like basically I'm a badass, stick to the plan, and love you, Bay.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
I don't. I just.
I like some of the Reed and Missy drama where I think it was at the Coconut Chop Challenge caused a lot of drama, and Baylor's like she's a mom. I don't think it was I don't think it was like the greatest season ever, but I definitely enjoyed it. Like the very end of the game too. Like most seasons, especially like season 30, you know who's gonna win. Like it was pretty up in the air. Like Natalie could have gone home with Final
I
Four.
know, but like the final three was so bad. It was one great player and two like, ugh. I mean,
I
no.
guess that's
I just
that.
like when the final tribal is so clear cut and there are like basically two goats there. It really ruins the season.
Yep, Missy was pretty bad. Who else was in that Final Tribal? I don't even remember.
Uh, John Mish's
Oh,
girl,
Jacqueline. Yeah.
Yeah, Jacqueline.
Jacqueline was way better than
I
John.
like Jacqueline. Jacqueline was a pretty solid player.
Yeah, every time Jacqueline would go up to John, she's like, I'm not too sure about this. John's like, no, no, don't worry about it. And every time Jacqueline was right.
All right, so
Pretty great.
even though this was a terrible pick, let's just talk more about um, Natalie and her great moves, like telling John to play the idol.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And then
What was also amazing is when John came back and he's like, don't give the credit to Natalie. Like,
okay.
John was hilarious.
Also, Natalie giving her idol to Jacqueline and blindsiding Baylor.
Yeah, that was great.
Like when she went up to Probst, like, hey, did you vote for who I told you to vote for?
Pretty
That
much.
was pretty amazing.
Yeah, Natalie's probably the second best female to ever play. Kim, then Natalie. I don't think Parvati is all that amazing. Maybe Parvati's had Natalie, but
You're just a hater.
I'm a hater. I'm sorry. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I love Natalie, and she's one of my favorite winners ever, but that's a bad pick here, so I got the leg up at this draft.
You might.
I could go in a lot of different directions here. I am going the season I want to pick next. I'm not going to because I know you're not going to pick them. So I'm going to strategize here, and I'm going to take Blood versus Water 1 because that's way better than Blood versus Water 2. What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I don't think the cast they brought back was all that great. Like Monica, Colton, Kat. Even though I love One World, they don't.
First of all, 4 words can be said, and this should be you could argue this is the best season of all time. Fuck you, Brad Culpepper.
Who even said that? I can't even remember.
Everyone thinks it was Candace, but it wasn't. It was Jervis's niece or whatever. I forget her name.
I thought she was first boot.
No, she was not. Oh shit. No, yeah, but she said it at Redemption Island.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. First boot technically was Rupert. He was the first one out of the game.
No, actually, his wife was, and then Rupert. Oh my God! This
No.
is
Well,
perfect opportunity.
he wasn't out of the game, like out of the game. Like Rupert was the first one who had to go home, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the first. Well, yeah, whatever.
They're still in the game. I know semantics, but just Rupert and Laura like ruining the season. That was fun. Rupert taking her place at Redemption like an idiot. That was great. Candace being mad at everybody. Fuck
Can
you
I
guys.
ask you a question?
Yeah.
Besides Tyson, who was interesting on this season? Like maybe Vetus and Tyson.
I just think there were some good things about like. All right, hold on. Let me go through some of the things I like. Colton quitting. That was good. Kat begging and begging Hayden to take her place, and Hayden saying, "Nah, I think I have a better chance to win. Go screw yourself."
And then breaks up with him.
I mean, Kat's just she got herself out of the game, and she like was begging to keep her, and Monica's like, "No, you're good."
Nobody wants to date people that don't make the merge.
Yes, that's also good. Anytime Kat fails, I enjoy that thoroughly. Venus and Aris were fun together. Venus was a kind of a breakout character. Tyson and Jervis being the coconut bandits, that was fun. One of my favorite tribals ever, Caleb's move at tribal to get rid of Brad Culpepper. That was amazing. When he's just like, I'm going to vote for Brad out of nowhere. And then Venus ends up switching his vote to break the tie. Sierra voting on her mom, probably a little overrated, but still pretty cool. I like Sierra. I don't know, just how about like Tina trying to set up her daughter with Venus?
Yeah, I remember. My two favorite things was the Brad Culpepper math. The 4 into 9 is good. Oh wait, no, 5 into that was pretty good. Yeah. And then the Russell. I can't even really know the difference. I don't even know which one's right or which one Tyson thought was right, but it's in the middle of like the most important tribal council. Tyson just goes on a rant about Hayden, was it, saying the wrong Russell?
Oh, I'm drawing a blank. I don't even know what you're talking about. But
remember this? When in tribal council, it was the one where they drew rocks, and Hayden says Russell instead of Russ, the one with the T.
He's like, oh, yeah.
Russell's the name.
That was so. Tyson's the best. He's kind of the best. Oh man. Yes, I mean that was another great tribal. Two pretty classic tribals in this season, and that's not even counting Sierra voting on her mom, which is pretty cool. So it was just it was a good season. The blood versus water twist was really fun. It really did pay off. I don't know.
It was a decent season,
and Redemption Island kind of sucks, but it did provide some decent moments. And Laura Moret is like, she's a badass. She wins like every challenge. She's like one of the most underrated challenge beasts in Survivor history.
Yeah, she was. She was good on Samoa too. I think she won 2 immunities on Samoa.
Yeah, she's a good player. Well, I'm not a great player, but she's just I like challenge beasts, especially on like ones you don't suspect. I don't know. It was just a fun season. I was happy for Tyson, and it's funny because if Tyson didn't vote himself out in Heroes versus Villains, he probably wouldn't have got to play again necessarily. So him doing that maybe made him $1 million.
Quite possibly, yes.
You're up.
All right, I'm going to take another recent season since I'm super biased, and you can call me super biased. But I'm going to take Survivor Philippines. Kind of an all-around good season. Just every episode was pretty good. Even though Russell Swan didn't really deserve to come back, it was still great just seeing him crash and burn. Like, I'm not going to be the leader. And then he's totally the leader and a terrible leader at that. And then, like, that same tribe, the greatest first boot ever in Zane, just going around making alliances with that was a great first episode.
Yeah.
Like, Malcolm's like, what is this guy doing? Like, he goes and tells Malcolm that he's made an alliance with every single person. Malcolm's just like, oh my God, this guy. Zane was great. I wish he could have stayed longer. You had Abby Maria and RC pre-merge just go after each other.
Oh, I love RC so much.
I know you do. Was she on your Survivor Crushes team, or?
I think she was, and she wasn't. That's a humongous oversight.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like about the season, we talked about her before, but Lisa Whelchel, we won't cover her too much, but
Oh God, can we just not even?
she was terrible. She was the worst. I also thought it was funny that Skupin thought he won. Like the way I heard this from Denise and like reading a couple things, but Skupin like for sure thought he won, even though I don't think he was that close. He might have got a vote or two, but Denise was clearly like the better player. Skupin just rubbed everyone the wrong way. It's first time Malcolm playing. Malcolm is pretty great, even though he didn't have that much airtime.
The Malcolm Denise alliance is one of my favorites in Survivor history. Partly because they're just so like unsuspected. Like, who would have thought those two would get together there?
Yeah, I agree. Malcolm choosing Denise over his crush. I don't even remember her name, but that the kind of the hot girl type.
Yeah, we haven't even mentioned what's his name?
Jeff Kent.
Well, actually, I did love Jeff. I really did enjoy Jeff Kent. Penner.
Penner. Yeah, Penner was good. He was actually this is probably my favorite Penner season. Maybe because it's his longest, but
I'm like a storyteller. That's what I do.
yeah, he basically flipped Lisa Whelchel. Then when they came asking for a final three, Penner was like, "No, I'm good. I'm good. I'll wait." But yeah, Penner's not the greatest player. Like I think he was on my most frustrating players list. But so we've covered him a little bit. We've covered almost like this entire cast on previous drafts, but it was a really good cast, really good season. Didn't know who was going to win until the votes were out. Denise was probably clearly going to win, but like at Final Four, they had to get out Malcolm after he got the advantage in the last challenge, but then lost. There was quite a bit of drama. It was overall just a kind of really good season.
All right. With my 5th round pick, I'm going to take – see, this isn't my top 5 favorite season, but again, I'm going strategy here. I'm going to take Survivor South Pacific.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Maybe I should have waited based on your reaction. I don't know. This is a lot. I mean, come on. Cochran was one of the greatest underdogs ever. Everyone loved him. His flip vote at the the merge episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the greatest tribals ever. I still think it was the right move. I know people criticize him for it, but I think they're very incorrect on that. Ozzy being a complete dick all the time, volunteering to go to Redemption, and it's somehow actually working out for him. Cochran almost beating Ozzy at Redemption. The whole Brandon Hance Michaela fiasco, that was amazing. Dawn sucking. I hate Dawn. We've covered this, but like she just watches Cochran blow up her game and she does nothing. She knows Cochran's gonna flip basically, and she doesn't flip with him. She just like, yeah, whatever. Like, what an idiot. Rick being the most pointless player ever to finish in like the top 5.
Rick. But the reason I don't like this season is I hate Ozzy and I don't hate Coach. I don't really like Coach though. And the season being built around 2 players I don't really like just kind of ruined the season for me. And how have you not mentioned Sophie Clark yet?
Yeah, I'm not. I was gonna say that Albert versus Sophie versus Coach like battle towards the end was really fun. We've talked about that. Ozzy was like one challenge win away from quite possibly winning this season.
That would have been a joke if Ozzy would have just. That would just be terrible.
Yeah, no one really talks about that, but he really could have won that season. He's pretty close.
And then like the fact that he was never at tribal council, but yet he was still a final jury member, which is kind of a joke. Like he was at like I don't know how many final tribals, not final tribals, how many tribal councils he was at. Like he had no information but still had to like vote. But Sophie's one of my favorites. That's about the only time I enjoyed the season was when Sophie was on the screen or Sophie was doing something. But
I still need to rewatch that season because I remember not being crazy impressed with Sophie and actually kind of thinking maybe Coach deserved to win. And I know you hate Coach, but I'm sure Sophie probably did deserve it. I just need to watch it again.
Coach just has a terrible social game, and if you're all about honor and integrity, then you don't play a game that features honor and integrity. Like you don't deserve to win. If you like Sophie understood her game, she had a game plan, she followed it, and like Coach may have like made all the decisions, but like I don't think who makes the most decisions should win the game. Like they kind of use Coach as like a buffer, and if anyone was like they thought about taking out Coach, but they determined it was better if they didn't because he was kind of like a goat. But like Coach didn't. Coach played a game that like he thought he was playing a game of honor and integrity, but he wasn't. So I don't see how you can reward someone for doing that when Sophie has a game plan of playing up to Coach, kind of being her right under his wing. I feel like that is more impressive. Like having a game plan, understanding your game, and like following through and being able to execute it.
Other than the idol that is not to be named, I feel like honor and integrity is another thing we need to ban from this podcast.
I think that only comes with Coach. Coach is the only person.
For the most, it's something that comes up in a lot of final tribals, and anytime someone says it, everyone in the jury just rolls their eyes. Like, just do not. If you say honor and integrity in the final tribal, you will not win. I actually should do the math on that. Find everyone who said it at final tribal and see what percentage of them have actually won the game, because it's probably 0%.
You're probably wrong, but it's still not good. Not good.
Quickly, what did you think about Albert?
Albert was just a nothing. Like he was just kind of there. He was Sophie's bitch.
We didn't really talk much about Brandon Hans either.
Oh, because Brandon sucks.
He certainly made one of the biggest blunders in Survivor history. That's for sure. Like, who gives her immunity to Albert of all people?
Yeah, like in the Sophie Dom Collin interview. I don't know if you've listened to that, but she talks about how Brandon was actually going to win the game. Somehow Brandon was. I don't know if I believe her, but
I mean,
why
would she lie? I mean, she might have actually thought that.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. It was just ridiculous. Brandon, like, he's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna tell anyone. I'm not gonna tell anyone." And like what episode 2, he tells Coach that he's Russell's. I mean, that is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shouldn't have taken this season this early, but I was. My next pick, I knew you weren't taking, so whatever.
All right. Well, I need to rewatch it. I've only seen it once, so maybe if I rewatch it, I'll enjoy it a little more. All right. With my next pick, I believe it's my 5th pick. Is that right?
That is correct.
All right. I'm going to take my oldest season yet, I believe.
Oh.
One of my favorites, maybe the most not thought about seasons ever, is Guatemala. It's never really talked about or brought up much, but
you just love
Judd's.
Yes.
Judd saves the season.
Actually, I think you like the season so much because of Stephanie. Don't try to deny it.
I forget that Stephanie's even on the season. Like,
well, she finished second.
I know. Anytime Stephanie's on the screen, I just kind of blank her out. Like, whatever. Like, I guess she's there, but yeah, I don't. Stephanie sucks. Don't. Anyway, Judd is amazing. Judd's the greatest thing ever.
He is, but if you hate Stephanie so much, and then Lydia finished really high, like she sucks. Like what else do you like about the season other than how fun Judd is?
Judd is 90% of it. The other 10% is probably the Gary Hawkins. The Gary Hawkins.
I'm gonna hunt you down.
Yeah, I went to Central Michigan, but I didn't play football at Central Michigan. That was one of my favorite lines. Like, duh. Like, he chose the last name that started with the same letter. Like, he couldn't have like mixed it up just a little bit. Like, it's pretty funny. Rafe and his miscues made for like a good game. Like a kind of good into the game at least, some drama. Because it could have very easily been just Rafe playing one of the best games ever, dominating. Like, honestly, if you like went to the end with like Stephanie or even like Blake or not Blake, but Jamie. Jamie is the guy I was thinking about. Like, he probably would be one of the best players ever because he had a great social game. Would have been considered a good strategist. But he decided to go with Danny or keep Danny around and then kind of get screwed at Final 3 when Stephanie picks. Or wait, no, Danny wins. I'm getting this whole season wrong, but Danny goes with Stephanie instead of him. So.
Oh yeah, that was a great episode. I love it. Yeah, I prefer Final 2s, the Final 3s. I don't know about you, but it's just so much fun when the person who wins the final immunity has to choose between the other people. It provides so much drama and a lot of crazy things happen. I don't know. I think they need to go back to Final 2. I really do.
You might be right, but I think a lot of good players get kicked at Final Three, so it's
You're
kind of
absolutely right. But
it's give or take, yeah.
win that final immunity, Rob Cesternino.
Or Surrey.
Or
Surrey's pretty, yeah. But Guatemala doesn't have like too much. The pre-merge is kind of bad, but honestly, the pre-merge isn't really what I look for in a season. It's just kind of there. People get voted out. People say funny stuff, but not much really happens. I'm kind of more worried about the post-merge, and that's when Judd really comes into his own at Tribal Council. It's just
There was a more fun car curse in that season.
yeah, the bait Blake thing that Brian does. That's great, but
We haven't even really talked about Jamie's absolute craziness.
Jamie versus Bobby John. Like, who is more country and who is more Southern gentleman?
Oh, yeah.
Competition.
That was one of the weirdest rivalries in this Survivor History. That was fun.
Yeah. Bobby John's terrible, too. I don't know how I got to play twice, but.
Speaking of Bobby John and Stephanie, let's go with Survivor Palau.
Yeah, that's a good season. I thought about that one as well. Tom.
That's the season I've been wanting to draft them for a few rounds now, but I thought you hated the season so much just because of Stephanie, so I waited. This is one of my 4 favorite seasons, I think. Yes, we all know I love Stephanie. Even if you don't like Stephanie, the whole like tribe of one person thing, that's something we've never seen before and we'll never see again. That was really fun. Tom Westman was a force. He was amazing. Karen and Janu, like 2 worst human beings to ever walk the planet. Janu quitting for Stephanie, that was crazy. Ian pretty much giving $1 million away to be friends with Tom and Katie after the game when he wouldn't have been friends with Tom and Katie after the game anyway. That's always fun. Jeff and Kim, the worst Survivor couple ever. James Miller, redneck casting gold. That's my stuff.
James is my favorite. Like,
yeah, he's kind of.
James was the last member of the tribe. This might have been the greatest season ever.
Yeah, Ibrahim, the most useless muscle of all time. I hate him.
Ibrahim's like your least favorite player ever.
He really is. Jen Lyon, one of my favorites. Rest in peace. I love Jen. It was just Greg was good too. It was a really fun season. I really hate Karen for not getting rid of Tom when she could have, because she sucks. Why did she have to warn Tom that was coming? I hate you, Karen. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
Katie versus Karen. I like that dynamic.
Yes. Yeah. Katie gets a lot of shit, but she was a lot of fun.
I can't even put a stick in the fire. But yeah, I like the Katie versus Karen dynamic was just great, and like how Karen just kind of randomly attacked Katie, and it was pretty good. I like Plows also because of Tom. Tom's the greatest ever.
It's still inexplicable to me that it's still inexplicable to me that he won this season. Just like, how do you let that guy win? Like, what is wrong with you people?
I know, it's like, oh, there's 13 people left. If Tom makes it, he's gonna win. Like, it was obvious from like the very beginning. Like, get Tom out, but
I still think we need to talk more about Ian here. I mean,
Ian would have been a really good winner too if you took out Tom. Because
who sits on that final challenge on that buoy for like 11 hours and then just like, you know what? All I have to do is beat out Tom here and I win $1 million. But I'd rather just make sure we're still friends after. I bet you they're not. I wonder if they're still friends now. I wonder how often they see each other. I'd really like to know that.
You know who would do that? Is someone who's out in the sun for 11 hours on a freaking buoy. Like,
no, they weren't out in the sun for 11 hours. The sun had been down for like 7 hours.
I guess that's true, but I think they that probably wasn't the best challenge to have.
No, see, I love those challenges. I love Final 3 endurance challenges. That's my favorite part of Survivor. That's why one of the reasons I hate how it's a Final 3 now instead of Final 2. Classic Survivor is Final 3 people left, an endurance challenge, who wants it the most? It's the best. It's provided so many good moments, like Season 1 when
no one cares about Season 1, Eli.
Oh, come on. I can't think of his name right now because I'm an idiot, but when he takes his hand off the idol by mistake, and then there's so many great ones. The one when was it
You forget
Nalita?
about me, Eli?
Huh?
Rudy? I can't do Rudy. I'm terrible at impressions.
There's so many examples of great Final 3 challenges that are who wants it most, and I don't know why they got rid of that.
Yeah, I love endurance challenges, but I don't love the ones where it doesn't get harder. It's just standing.
Yeah, I mean, that might have been a little bit of a misfire on that challenge, but it's still, I mean, it's the longest challenge ever, and it provided one of the greatest moments ever. So
Yeah, like I like the ones where you put your feet on the wall and there's like those little notches that you have to like.
Yeah, that one's okay. Whatever. We're getting way off topic. All right, why don't you take your sixth round pick then?
Um, with my sixth pick, I'm gonna actually take the season six. I'm gonna take Survivor Rob Cesternino.
Oh, I hate you. That was my next pick.
Yeah, like the only thing about this season is Rob Cesternino.
Yeah, it's. Does he care? He probably carries a season more than anyone's ever carried a season by far, right?
It's like who's the second most interesting person on the season? Like Dave Johnson, the rocket scientist.
Well, Christy was really annoying, but she was kind of compelling in her own way.
Joanna, the scene.
No, Joanna's the worst. One of the worst of all time.
Didn't she complain about the idol? Like, oh, we can't praise.
Not only that, but she like hates Rob Cesternino because she thinks Rob like worships the Magic 8 Ball. Like, don't take it too seriously, woman. God,
She's crazy. But you can't really talk about this season without Raw. Like,
yeah, like we sing his praises all the time, but
yeah,
he really is one of the funniest survivors ever. He was really one of the best Survivor players ever. He kind of like almost invented that gameplay and like modernized the game in some ways. He's just the best.
yeah. The only like two, like, well, we've talked about Rob. We'll talk about him again. But like the chain alliance where Rob leads Matthew and Butch on was great.
Another thing that was so great about the season is the guys versus the girls. That was a brilliant idea, and it really paid off.
And the peanut butter and chocolate's probably the last thing we can mention where they get down for, I think it was Oreos and peanut butter, Jenna and Heidi.
Yes, that also led them to each getting $1 million from Playboy.
Yeah.
I feel like Rob should get a cut of that money because I think he kind of like came. I don't know if he came up with the idea, but he certainly, I don't know, helped them do. I don't know.
Yeah. What do you think about Jenna as a winner? Good winner, bad winner?
The worst winner? Question mark.
Maybe Bob or Natalie or I love Fabio, so probably not Fabio, but
yeah, she's certainly in the bottom 5. I don't think anyone could disagree with that.
considering she almost quit. But.
Yes, I know. You always say like you hate how she almost quit one. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think honestly why we have final 3s now is because of what happened this season.
And the next season with Fair Play.
Yeah, I mean that did it.
And the season after that with Jenna Lewis.
I still think final 2 is the way to go. I would do.
Yeah, it's debatable. I go either way.
Yes, Rob. I mean, Rob was the best. There was some other good stuff in there, but it
Not
was
much.
clearly carried by Rob. And I was going to take this season because I love Rob so much, and now I have no idea what I'm going to do.
Will this be your 7th pick?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Survivor Samoa.
Okay.
I know you're not a big Russell fan, and by not a fan I mean you hate his guts, but I don't know. Foa was getting their ass kicked so hard, and they had the best comeback ever, and it was all because of
whoa. What about Survivor Cook's Island? Survivor Cook's Island.
Yeah, that was one of the best comebacks.
That was much better.
Two crazy no, they were both amazing. Yeah, no doubt, that was a great one. Hate Russell all you want, but he was kind of the greatest thing that ever happened to this show. I don't know, just like him being a cocky asshole, shitting on Natalie right before Tribal, and then she wins. So great. Shambo was amazing. Russell Swan being a dick and almost dying, that was pretty good.
Russell's the best though. Like, could they have thought of a better, like making him like the designated leader was just brilliant. Like I honestly finished watching this show on the rewatch yesterday, so the season's super fresh in my mind, and like Russell getting like deemed the leader was just great. It was the best.
Well, we just talked about one person carrying a season. Well, you can make a case that Russell Hantz kind of carried this season because without him, it's pretty bad.
I love Dave Ball. I'm not even talking about Russell Hantz.
Danger Dave.
Do you play this sport? Or I think it was at the immunity challenge at the T-ball one. Do you play baseball? I think Probe's asking is like, nope, I play making love or something like that. Is this your sport? No, making love's my sport. And then Jeff asked, do you play that a lot? And he's like, not enough.
What a loser.
Because I love Danger Dave.
You also love Shambo, right?
I really don't like the season that much. Shambo's fine. She's interesting,
You're
but
just such a Russell hater,
I
man.
do. I just don't
Come on, he was compelling.
like every single Russell confessional, which is like 7 episodes, is these people are so dumb and they don't know what they're doing and
I just
like, shut up, Russell, you haven't won. Like you're not good.
I like good characters, and he was clearly a character. And I also like players who play differently than anyone else. That's one reason why I loved Rob so much in season 6, and one reason why I love Russell so much. He was unlike anything we've ever seen. And when you have a million seasons and like 16 plus people every season, it's hard to find different types of people, and they did a good job there.
Yeah, they definitely did. Like what he did was kind of I almost feel like he created like the biggest Survivor debate. Like Russell's kind of the still a hot point in like podcast debates and stuff like that. Everyone has a different view on him and love him or you hate him. I hate him, but
The game is flawed.
I also respect that. I also like know he's kind of safe Survivor potentially, so that's good as well.
All right. Well, I mean, everyone listening either loves Samoa or hates Samoa based on Russell, so we don't need to talk about this anymore.
All right. Well, with my 7th pick, I will take a season that some probably consider one of the worst of all time, which is probably like a lot on my list. Looking at my team's not that great. I obviously love them, but the people are gonna hate my team. But I'm just gonna kind of double down on that and take Survivor Nicaragua, one of the most underrated seasons. I feel like.
Go on.
Just at the very beginning, Wendy Joe. There's nobody talking about players. There's nobody like. There's nobody like Wendy Joe, who who could play this game 1,000 times and would never would probably be first boot, like 999. But she's hilarious. The next boot I think was Shannon. He was just crazy. He had Nayanka who was crazy. It was just like season of the crazies. You have country superstar Chase Rice, who I didn't even know was famous until I Googled him. But I actually kind of like his music, which is I hate Chase Rice like on the show, but his music's kind of good. Like I hate to say that, but it's not bad. You have Jimmy Johnson, who just thank God he gets voted off early, but I actually really like Fabio. I don't think he's a good player or anything like that, but he's really good TV. He's super likable. I love his sock feud with Nyanka. That was pretty great when Nyanka steals his socks and.
You're kind of boring, Colin.
But Marty Piombo is Guillermo Vila, the chess player. That was good. Jan Limbo he's just one of the most pointless players ever. Like
He really is.
He's so terrible in challenges. They basically, I think they showed it once. Like Dan's just laying there in the just the what do you call it, the shelter. He's just laying there in the shelter, and he's like, "Who am I voting for tonight?" Okay, good. Just like Dan didn't care at all.
I gotta be honest, you're doing a really poor job of selling me on this.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm just kind of when Holly puts Dan Limbo's shoes and fills them with sand, puts them in the river for no reason, and then becomes like the best player the season has, which is hilarious. Like the redemption story of Holly. But I just feel like this season's one of the more fun seasons. And something like when you're rewatching a season, you know who wins. I think at least on rewatch, the seasons that are funny and have like the funny characters kind of stand out and make the seasons more enjoyable.
Wow, that's compelling. Okay. With my final pick, I'm going to pick a season that wasn't even on my list of 17 seasons I was considering. And I'm only taking them because you just said the name of the season a couple minutes ago. I'm like, holy crap, I should have put them on my list. Survivor Cook Island.
Yeah, they're on my list. I might have taken them next. I'm not sure.
I mean, Yule versus Aussie is one of the best finals tribals ever. Two very deserving winners. I know neither of us really love Aussie, but he kind of deserved to win that season as well. We got Parvati's first time playing. Penner, who could forget the mutiny with Candace and Penner? let's see what else.
That's about it. Like,
Billy Garcia and Candace, come on.
yeah, that's true. But when you're I was doing research for Cook Islands. I was like kind of looking at things, and I'm like, there's Mutiny, there's the Idol, there's 4 3-time players, and Ozzy Pinner, Candace, and Parvati. But there's not much else. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's not the best season, and not a lot of great things happen. But I think based on the strength of Ozzy versus Yule, it really is one of the best battles ever. It's one of the only time I like legitimately felt bad for runner up because man, Ozzy played. I mean, it's a different kind of game than most winners. I know he didn't win, but he deserved it too, man. It's a shame that both couldn't win. It really is, and I don't know if I've ever thought that before about a Survivor season. So. I think it was one of the greatest battles in Survivor history. So, and Yule's one of the best winners of all time, also, arguably.
yeah, I think he's probably top 5 winner of all time.
Yeah, he might be a little overrated because of the idol he had, but he played a great game. So
yeah, he did awesome. I love Yule. But yeah, the season's lax in big moments and good episodes.
well, we haven't even talked about the format, the racist format.
The racist format. Yeah.
I feel like I shouldn't. I need to take a couple points off because of Flicka, who I hate with a passion.
I don't know. But Flick is whatever to me. I don't know why you hate her so much. But
She's the worst. I hate players who don't want to play the game.
But you look at Flicka and you instantly know she's not going to play the game. So like,
I just don't cast these people for the love of God.
Yeah, I guess. But she brought so much to the season. She got a season named after her. Like the longest episode name ever. What was it? It was.
I can forgive her, but I don't have to because she screwed with my chickens.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
All right. Why don't you give me your last pick here?
This is probably the season that changed most on my rewatch. Like the first time I didn't really think much of it, but the second time I really love the season. That's Survivor China.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pick. I had them as a list as a season I was considering,
But yeah, obviously I have to start off with my favorite, Courtney Yates. He also had the best version of James, who was actually likable this season and kind of a cool guy. Like he's a pretty good guy this season. He said some things I didn't really like, but overall a good guy. You got Todd, a pretty good winner, who I think's a little overrated, but I still like him. PG, who's going back on Survivor Second Chances.
Love PG. One of my favorite things from this season was PG coming up with the brilliant idea of throwing the challenge, and it really was a brilliant idea.
And then Jamie just
her execution of throwing the challenge was terrible, but the idea was 100% spot on.
What was the Sudoku quote?
Oh yeah, I know.
PG, are you good at puzzles? I'm good at Sudoku. And then James got super pissed. But yeah, they didn't really execute that too well. There's not like a ton of great moments. It's just the great moments are whenever Courtney talks, and that's about it. Like I hate this. The final episode is a final 3. Like it starts with 3 people, or wait, no, it starts with 4, and then it's a final 3. So they only like vote off one person on the finale, which makes it really long. And the fact that they don't see Todd as a threat, like I don't know why they didn't vote Todd out, but like he was such an obvious threat that I don't know. That's why I don't think Todd's game was that great, is because he kind of made himself a really big threat, then didn't win immunities to really save him. I feel like he should have got voted out if the players were smarter. Oh, and Lunch Lady Denise.
Oh.
The scandal of Lunch Lady Denise actually being a custodian. Like that's kind of a big deal. The entire season was just like a pity party for Denise. Kind of like Lisa Welch's style. But yeah, I really hate like the people who come on and just throw themselves a pity party for playing the game. Like, I can't believe I have to make hard decisions, and it's like, oh my god, you're the worst. But I think overall, Courtney saves the season. Without Courtney, it's probably bottom 10 season. So I'm mainly picking Courtney in this, but the
Yes.
season wasn't too bad as well.
All right. Why don't we talk about the seasons that we considered? For me, it was only 2 seasons I thought about. Came really close to taking Survivor Africa. Lex and Big Tom were so great. Although there really wasn't too much. I mean, Ethan was pretty awesome. I love T-Bird. So there were 4 characters I really loved. So just based on that, I like that season. And also Survivor Tocantins. I love Fishback because of RHAP. Tyson was great. JT was a good winner. Coach was, hate on Coach, but he was kind of compelling that first season. So, but if you look at, so I was looking at Tocantins. The first 8 boots from Tocantins, I swear to God, I've never heard of any of them.
How can you forget Sandy? Sandy was the best.
I'm going to read you the first 8 boots, and you're going to tell me if you remember these people in any way.
I just watched the season like 2 weeks ago. So.
Oh man, I still don't think you get Carolina.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Exactly. Candace Smith.
Nope.
Jerry Sims.
Yeah, Jerry was that guy who ate the beans and stuff.
Sandy Bergen.
Yeah, Sandy was the best.
I don't remember Sandy. I'm looking at these pictures and I don't remember Sandy.
Oh my gosh.
Spencer Doom.
Spencer was that gay guy in the closet.
Yeah, I only remember him because he was gay. Sydney Wheeler. Attractive blonde, don't remember her.
Don't remember Sydney.
Joe Dowdle.
Joe was the medevac. He was terrible.
I don't even remember that there was a medevac. What, did this happen?
I thought you loved the season you liked. I
don't love this season. I just like, Brendan Synod. I don't really remember him either.
You know what? Brendan and Sierra, the Exile.
Oh, like wow! And I was in love with Sierra, and I still don't remember Brendan. Like this man, the first 7 boots are just a travesty.
Yeah, it was not great.
Bad casting.
I don't know what other seasons I really considered. I feel like we should give a shout out to Exile Island. It's one of the more famous seasons, but I'm not.
Yeah, you know what? I probably overlooked that one.
I don't really like Shane. Shane's okay. I'm not in love with him as much as other people. Survivor 1 and 2 are probably some people's favorites.
Yeah, I had those too. I thought about them.
Considering we just started watching Survivor, even though we've seen all of them, they don't have the
nostalgia factor for us.
Nostalgia for us, so we're not as big into those. And any others?
I think World 30 is decent. It's not quite at the level that would have made our teams, but it's a season I considered.
The problem with 30 is, at final 8 or 9 after the auction, it's Mike has no chance to win this game, but the edit was so clearly in favor of Mike that you knew he was going to win the game. So the greatest comeback story ever, and maybe Survivor history, was ruined by editing. It was just I don't really like Mike that much anyway, so. But, we took over half the season, so. I feel like I almost took Survivor 31, even though it's not out yet, so.
Yeah, honestly, you probably should have, because towards the end of this draft, we were reaching a little bit.
Yeah, definitely were. All right, do you have anything else to add, or?
No, I think that'll do it. I think I definitely won this draft. I've been losing a lot of these previous drafts, but this one I took. Because I had the 2 best seasons of all time, so.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of botched it, but I'm regretting it, but I love One World, so I can't regret it too much.
Fair enough, John. I should probably close this out. All right, that's it for this episode. If you have any suggestions for future podcasts, you can hit us up on Twitter at Survivor Buddies or via email at survivorbs@gmail.com. Thanks, John.
Thanks.